In 2005, Israel unilaterally withdrew its troops and settlers from the Gaza Strip. The policy called disengagement was designed to remove Israel from direct management of the Palestinian populated territory. However, it retained control over its airspace, shared border and shoreline. The UN still considers the territory to be occupied by Israel. Soon after the withdrawal, Israel and Egypt imposed a blockade for security reasons. A year later, Hamas won the elections in Gaza, defeating Fatah, the main Palestinian party that still controls the West Bank. But in 2007, following tensions with the official Palestinian leadership, the militant Hamas faction took control of the Strip by force. Since then, Hamas has evolved from a relatively small movement into a well-funded conglomerate. Over the years, one of the ways Hamas operated and thrived has been through this. It has built a tunnel city stretching beneath Gaza for hundreds of kilometers, up to 80 meters deep in some parts. A hostage who was held in the network before being freed by Hamas described it as a spider's web. The Israeli military says many of the Hamas tunnels, command centers and rocket launchers lie adjacent to schools, hospitals and humanitarian institutions in northern Gaza, including the region's largest hospital, al-Shifa, in Gaza City. But now, with Israel claiming to have acquired total control of the northern part, the big question is, who will control the region in the coming days?
The October 7th massacre proved with finality that any place that didn't have Israeli security control would see terror return and establish itself, and eventually strike us. That has been proven in the West Bank too. Therefore, I won't agree to forgo security control in any scenario.
Netanyahu has made it clear that security control will remain with Israel in the future, but that could have several challenges for Israel. Experts suggest that eliminating the underground spiderweb of tunnels could present its army far greater challenges. But more than the warfare, the humanitarian crisis is a greater cost that Israel will have to contend with. Ever since the start of the war, Israeli attacks have devastated more than 41,000 housing units and damaged more than 222,000 housing units. That is at least 45% of Gaza's housing units, totally damaged or destroyed. Who will construct them? The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs said 279 educational facilities had reportedly been damaged, more than 51% of the total, with none of Gaza's 625,000 students able to access education. What will happen with these children? Around 390,000 jobs have been lost since the start of the war. The socio-economic situation of Gaza was already dire before the war, with the poverty rate estimated to have reached 61% in 2020. By a preliminary estimate, the UN agencies said poverty was expected to rise by between 20% and 45%, depending on the duration of the war. Will Israel build what has been destroyed?
I can tell you what there won't be. There won't be Hamas. And there won't be a civilian authority that educates their children to hate Israel, to kill Israelis, to wipe out the state of Israel. There can't be an authority that pays the families of murderers based on the number of people they murdered. There can't be an authority headed by someone who over 30 days after the massacre has yet to condemn the terrible massacre. It's not possible. There will have to be something else there. But either way, there will have to be our security control.
אבל בכל מקרה חייבת להיות שליטה ביטחונית שלנו.
And now the displaced and trapped Palestinians have to face another challenge. The start of the rainy season has piled on even more despair, as many find themselves homeless or living in makeshift tents, with the prospect of flooding causing apprehension about the spread of disease.
Winter is a nightmare. The situation we are facing now will be a nightmare. In the past, I used to wish for winter to arrive and for the rain to fall, for the trees to start to bloom and grow so that we can harvest. But right now, I pray every day for it not to rain. We're living in tents, nothing that protects us. When the rain falls, we will drown.
Overwhelmed by the daunting scale of the humanitarian needs of Gaza's 2.3 million people, aid organizations have so far been unable to plan for the challenges created by rain and flooding.
On average, a child is killed every 10 minutes in Gaza.
One child is killed on average every 10 minutes in the Gaza Strip. This is what World Health Organization Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said at the United Nations Security Council. Time is running out for these children of war. Time is running out for Gazans trapped in northern parts. Time is running out for those stuck in hospitals. And time is running out for world leaders to stop the war. Over the past few days, more than 100,000 residents have fled to the south. The growing number of evacuees from northern Gaza has caused a shortage of accommodation and supplies in the southern part. With not enough global aid, each day is a soul-sapping struggle to get bread and water while waiting in lines. As Gazans await the war to end, they prepare themselves for a bigger battle. The battle for survival.